Scorpio, this is your August 2025 Psychic Tarot reading. All right, Scorpio, this is your August 2025 Tarot card reading. This is a Psychic Tarot card reading. I'm going to be using the Hanson Roberts Tarot. I'm going to be clarifying with whatever works. All right. All right, I'm not using a professional microphone because it's set up for another function right now. This is spiritual warfare. Oh, God. Okay. I hope it isn't something crazy, but we will see. All right, let's bring some greenery into the mix so that we can feel refreshed, okay? Because this is tiring. Okay. Spiritual warfare. Why? Let's just get ready. We might as well. I mean, August is an intense month for whoa, okay? You are the Empress upright. Okay, we got that right. Okay, Empress upright. So that means that you're kind, you're nurturing, you're loving, you're creative, you're nurturing, you're abundant, you're beautiful, you are fertile. Fertile doesn't have to mean whether or not you're fertile for babies. Fertility just means that you're abundant and that you can create. It could also indicate that if you are in the years where you're having children, that this is a time where you are fertile. For those of you that are beyond that, or like myself, that our kids are all grown and gone and doing well, it just could indicate that you're doing something creative, that you're trying to bring something new into creation, or you have that potential. Oh, okay. All right. It crossed itself. We have the crossing card. I didn't intend it to be a crossing card, but we have the star. So the star is a card that in the crossing position is asking, are you hopeful? Are you inspired? Do you sense your spiritual guidance? Do you have your faith? Are you healed? The challenge could be that maybe you don't feel healed from something or situation, maybe about the spiritual warfare. All right, so we've got a card that flipped over. I'm just letting the cards tell me their positions. I'll let you know if I feel that there's a position that doesn't make sense. All right, so as a foundation card, we have the Seven of Wands. So Seven of Wands is talking about feeling defensive or feeling like you have to stand firm in the face of a challenge, that you are standing firm, or in the foundation that you have been, that you've set your boundaries, that you're courageous, you know, because if you feel like you've been defending your freedom, this would be the month that you really would have felt a strong need to do that and to believe in your personal dreams. Mercury's going to station direct on the 11th, and you'll get more clarity if you've been lacking that clarity. If you felt like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know where I'm going, what is this? All of it clarifies, okay? And you could have been getting information about your dreams, through your dreams, your intuition. There's going to be, I think it's a new moon in Virgo on the 23rd. And again, there could be a little bit of a power struggle there, but it is about your truth and how you stand in it. Are you going to keep those boundaries firm? Are you going to give in? What is it that you need to do? You know, the beginning of the month is about feeling like you've got responsibilities that you can't get out of, but I believe that you've created these responsibilities because you are in the Empress energy. Watch that negativity. All right, don't let your self-criticism talk you in or out of anything. Okay, it's just a voice in your head. All right, so for the fading away influence, this is going to turn into a Celtic cross reading. We have the Six of Swords in reverse. So the Six of Swords is talking about feeling like you can't move on in the reverse, feeling like there's, you know, no way to get to a peaceful situation, or you felt that the journey has been burdensome, or that you could feel tempted to return to a situation or a person or some conditioning from the past, something of the mental scape, okay? You're going to feel better as, let's see, Mars is in Libra now. That, you know, should help you, especially Scorpio rising. Heighten your psychic abilities, your sensitivity, your empathy. You might feel like you know, need more privacy. All right, that full moon, we'll talk about that more in other readings, but, you know, there's releasing outdated thinking. You know, there could be issues within your family. Watch the visits, you know, from family this weekend, because there could be conflict. You know, maybe they want you to move closer, move differently. All right, just don't worry about it too much. I mean, we all know by now what full moons are like. And if you think about it, when Mars opposes Neptune, there could be like some boundaries that blur. This could be with relationships as they relate to your family or your romantic relationships, or if your work crosses over too much. All right, what else, Spirit? Tell us about the crowning influence. Woo, okay. Crowning influence wants to show up over here. Same thing, but the Six of Swords in reverse. And now we have that Fool sideways, you know, acting like a little bit of a challenge position. I'm going to be watching the camera here as I go. You know, Mercury is still retrograde and YouTube has been having some issues. So you don't know if you're wanting this new start that you've started. You know, you don't know if this was the right thing to do. I guarantee you that it was. Because this kind of leap of faith is what's necessary. This sense of naivete, okay? This naivety is what you've needed for a long time. It brings the joy back into your life. All right. I'm getting, there's somebody in your circle. I don't think it has anything to do with you. There is somebody, let's get the magic wand in case we need to point. There is somebody in the energy that has been attacking you. I think that's where I'm getting the spiritual warfare. Could be an Aquarius. All right, what position do you want to take? Okay, so we have the information card. We have the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords isn't always spying, although it can. You know, because this is about you being vigilant about those boundaries, looking for the information, feeling youthful, as in this naivety here, okay? The Page of Wands is looking at a different direction, so I think that's going to tie into this spiritual warfare. You know, look, don't care. There's nothing you need to do about it. You know, protect yourself, maintain your boundaries in whichever way, whatever way it is that you choose to. I think that you'll find that as we get a little bit further along in Mars trines Pluto, that's when you really do figure out what is it about your home or your living situation, your family of origin, the groups of people that you hang out with. You know, what is about them? What is it? You'll get information. With that Page of Swords, you'll get information. You could get some opportunities that you did not anticipate, something good, all right, because it relates to financial breakthrough because of Uranus, Mars, and Pluto. All right, that's talking about financial gains. Pluto rules the big finances. So just remember to trust your intuition. All right, these don't really want to pop very much. Am I switching yet? Let's see. Tell us about the near future, Spirit. Oh, okay, it's flying over here. I think I'm going to move it over here because I did say near future. It wants to rotate into the upright. As a challenge, they always write themselves because you just have to work through it. You do the work, they write themselves. So this is kind of being on the fence about, do I want to work together with people? Do I want to collaborate with anybody? How do I feel about that? That's what that's talking about. The fact that it flew over here toward the Fool and the Six of Swords in reverse, be very mindful about entertaining the past. I know that it's very easy to think that there's something good about the past, but the thing is, if this has to do with relationship, and I don't see relationships here, lots of you could be single and holding your own. But the thing is that if something was left in the past and you've made this new beginning or felt the need to, I don't know. You know, I don't feel good about that. You know, we'll clarify as we go. In fact, I think I'll clarify right now. Just for giggles, I can't even reach them. Let's get the romance angels. I want to see if there's any evidence of this being a situation where you are tempted to romanticize the past. Because the reason why we do that is when we think of the past, and if there's some major wounding, Lord, wounding there, wow, they want to jump out, that if we go back and it's better, then the bad thing didn't happen. But that's a little bit, that's when we delude ourselves, okay? If somebody did something to you in the past that was unfair, wrong, not good, has led to some level of spiritual warfare, either by their hands or somebody else's, then the question is, why would you want to go back to revisit that? Let those people and their bygones be bygone. The issue really is that if there's something prompting me to say warfare, spiritual warfare, war, then there's something, it doesn't even have to be the person that you were connected to. It could be somebody connected to that person. And somehow in some ethereal plane, you're some kind of invisible threat because you're not there anymore. See what I'm saying? All right. For the romance angel as it relates to the past, okay, we're going to read it in that context. Spiritual warfare. Something about trust, and it was in reverse. And, you know, these aren't to be read that way, but I read whatever, whichever way. We have the romance angel of trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. You don't have faith in that past situation if you really search yourself deeply. If it's possible for you to focus on understanding, remembering how much you love yourself, I promise that those situations from the past begin to lose their vitality, begin to lose their sparkle and shine, begin to lose their emphasis on your life. All right? Let's see if there's anything else. I'm just going to double check before we continue. Any other messages for the present about new love, anything new, or a current relationship that is in good standing for you? I got my wiggles out, so, you know, sometimes in between readings, once I'm channeling or I'm done with that, it depends. The Libra reading was very heavy. I'm mentioning that. Maybe you're associated with the Libra. Maybe a Libra is important to you. You know, we just have to be mindful of the energy. Okay, we got 2, and they hit the ground. And you will not believe what this says. Now, it came out in the reverse. Release your ex. So let the ex go. If you've not done that already, I am not saying that this is easy to do. I am not saying that this is something that you even consciously want to do. But in your deeper truth, you will know that it is the right thing to do. Think about this. Are you doing better than you were when you were with that person or in the throes of some agonizing situation because your ex was probably an SOB? Okay, now in the reverse, let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. I see that's in reverse in the current. So keep your own counsel. I think we're going to set that aside and then we'll question it if something comes up. In fact, let's do something else. Let's get some oracle cards. These cards kind of, they're all channel messages. One popped up here, so I'm going to take it. Violence. This past situation, this past relationship could have involved a level of violence. Sometimes that happens. We don't want that to happen, okay? Scorpio, August 2025 reading. Scorpio, I understand you, so please don't ever think that I find it trivial. They hate you because they can't have you. What the? Okay, see, this is what I'm saying. There's a toxic level of attachment here, and they're showing up. I'm just going to, you know, clarify a little bit as I go here. Let's look at these signs. I'll use the wand so that you can see them with me. Okay, we've got Cancer, Virgo, and a Taurus. So an earth signs could be significant. A water sign could be significant. Let's continue. Anything else that we want to say about... Well, they're in love with you. Or in the past they were. This, I believe, this feels like infatuation. And for those of you, I mean, I deal with this all the time. People get infatuated with me and then they don't treat me fairly. You know what I mean? Now, we've got the chosen one. You are the chosen one. There's corrupt law enforcement involved. Now, this could be some level of corruption with somebody in authority position, but I do have specific channeled messages. So somebody that you dealt with could be a corrupt law enforcement official, or it could be that if that wasn't your ex, that in that, throughout that relationship, law enforcement, if there was violence, I don't doubt it, could have been involved, and maybe they didn't treat you appropriately or hear you. Okay, it's happened to me before, I understand. We have ancestral temple. So let's continue. Ancestral temple, for me, that message is about going within, especially with that 3 of Pentacles. It's probably you're going to go it alone in many different ways. Maybe some of you are starting YouTube channels. Maybe some of you are starting to, oh gosh, are you kidding me? This can't be made up. 2 of Cups in reverse. That person may think that you're their 2 of Cups, but for me, that card in the reverse is a toxic relationship. Maybe they want to possess you and, you know, put you on a little shelf like right here, and you're just this little doll, you know, whether you're Ken or Barbie. I'm going to sit you here. Now I have you in my arsenal of accoutrement. And, you know, maybe it's for clout so that other people could think that they're cool, or, you know, they've, you know, that always gives me that vibe of arm candy, that because you're beautiful or because people perceive you that way. You know what I'm saying? So if that person is in a relationship with anybody else, or if you were married to that person, now it comes out in the sideways. So maybe some of you are divorcing that person. Maybe you're in the midst of a divorce. It doesn't feel heavy to me. If that person's in a relationship with somebody else, they could be going through something, but I don't want you to linger on that. Lots of oh, I almost said Sagittarius when I went to say Scorpio. Maybe you were dealing with a Sagittarius or a fire sign. What the heck? Flew over here. You're their wish fulfillment. I mean, I don't want to not tell you a truth, so I have to read it. You're watching them fly the way that they do. What can I tell you? Scorpio, you are an enigma, okay? Now, I've got the Two of Wands that was coming out this way. You're looking in a completely different direction. If you're single, you probably want love to come organically through somebody else completely different. Let me get, I'm just going to grab some oracle messages here because I feel called to. All right, and because you may have questions. Okay, so we get the messenger. Be careful because this past person could be trying to send you a message. You don't have to be careful in that unless you know that that person is violent and they've done something to you. Okay, especially with the corrupt law enforcement. It could just be somebody who's shady, you know, but for me, it's law enforcement. Be careful because they want to give you a message, or you could be soon receiving a message. Now, falling over to the future, what feels like future to me, is the Merchant card. Somebody's waiting for something better to come in. Somebody's waiting literally for something better to come in, for some news about something better. Sideways, we get, wow, we get the Frivolity card. We have a butterfly that could be significant to you. So I think for most of you, because it's sideways, let's honor it that way, reading it both upright and reverse. Again, this mimics very much this slight sense of not being able to move forward. House is significant. We have a pretty house. Looks like some of the houses in Louisiana. Okay, so somebody could be connected to Louisiana. House, you could be thinking about moving. A move could be impending. There could be something about a move, something about land or property. Feels like a move. Oh, flying over here. Are you kidding me? Okay, look, Scorpio. It says enemy. This person from your past is not your friend. That's an enemy. They could come in all lovesick saying, oh my gosh, but you're my Nine of Cups. I'm in love. I hate you because I can't have you. Two of Cups in reverse. I may feel violent, but my love. No, 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 baby. When someone has treated you a certain way and things have gone a certain way, the thing that is the most respectful of you is to honor yourself and to let that person go. I know for some people, especially if you're younger, it's harder to do. Emotional maturity involves being able to release when it is done. Anything else, Spirit, from these messages? Whoa, on the other side, we get the soldier. Your ex could be a soldier, have ties to the military. It's sideways, so they could be retired. Maybe they're not active military. They could be in the reserves. These are speaking very clearly to you, Scorpio, for your August 2025 psychic tarot reading. Okay, so we get a couple here. I saw that one flipped out. It went back in. We have the priest and it went over here. This person that you were in a relationship with could try to come across like they are just so pious. Maybe they're Catholic. They're just saying, oh, I read my Bible all the time. You know what? You don't have to read the Bible all the time to be able to discern whether or not a person is spiritually on track. Do you hear me? Let's examine the card that wanted to flip out and flipped back over. It's in the reverse. And this is a surprise. So look, there's what does it say there? That looks like it says good, you know, but it did come out wonky. I'm going to leave it there because this person's going to try to surprise you. Maybe they'll come in with a gift of something, you know, depending on their income bracket. Now, this card that came out in the reverse is a child in reverse. I believe that they could be dealing with somebody that has a child, or there's a paternity issue related to a child in this mix, but I really feel like that has to do with the past, your ex, that relationship, that situation, or they're dealing with somebody and there is some contention around the paternity of a child. Where are we at? Oh, we're doing good. This has just been reading itself, hasn't it? Flying out to the top is the servant. Now, whom do you serve, Scorpio? Who do you want to serve? I say serve yourself. Flipping right back over is a younger woman in reverse. I think that's the card falling under here where you're saying no. Maybe you're younger than this person. Maybe, you know, I think that you're younger than this person, very likely. The card that wanted to flip right on top of it is joyfulness, and it wanted to conceal itself. That relationship from the past will not bring you joy. You know, it will not bring you, I'm going to put it sideways just to keep track of that energy. Let's move over here to some other channeled messages and see why is somebody has a tattoo on their finger that could be significant. You have a halo. Halo, halo, halo. Okay. Halo sounds like hello. Be careful. Your ex is a freaking orc. Okay. I've got that card in there for a reason. Your ex, if they did, could have married a murderer. You know, take murder the way that you wish, okay? Because murder could be a colloquialism. Now look at this, the way that it flew. You were the first choice, so they married somebody who was second choice. That doesn't look good for them. For sloppy seconds is what I'm getting. Finger tattoo. I don't know, for some of you, that could be that you've literally, maybe you have a wedding ring tatted on. You could have that removed. Save up your pennies, get that removed. Don't ever do that. It's, you know, for those of you that are not into that, no reason to start that now. Somebody doesn't want me talking, or it could be just be a cough, right? Nothing yet. I'm not going to take the clump again because that was happening with Libra. And there's plenty of air between these cards. You could be dealing with an air sign. Oh my gosh. They tried to fall out. Your ex is not only two-faced, but you need to light a protection candle. Remember, it's not about the equipment. So if you don't have a candle, you can just focus on a bright flame. Think about your crown chakra and having a bright flame at the top of it. You are illuminated. Anything else, Spirit? Someone has a tattoo on their back. Okay, let's move on and forward back to the Hanson Roberts Tarot and see if this energy is clear enough for me to feel comfortable. This feels so much better than the Libra reading. The Libra reading I had a feeling was going to be everywhere. Libra's got some stuff going on. Okay, so, we've got the King of Swords in the upright. Now, this is my military card. This is law enforcement. This is an attorney. This is a speaker. This is an orator. This is a person who deals with the truth. This is a person who wants to show you the truth. He did come out in the upright, so it could be that this is an attorney that could be making contact with the merchant card about that former marriage of yours, if you were married and divorcing. Could also be that you're, well, no, because your ex is an orc, so he's not a King of Swords in the upright. I mean, everybody can change, can't I? Oh, I said, can't I? Well, I changed. I was thinking, I can dream, can't I? All right. Ten of Pentacles in reverse flew out over here. Did you see that? Ten of Pentacles. Your ex could be having some issues related to big money and property, real estate matters. If they're married, I'm telling you that there's something wrong with their marriage. King of Wands, you're going to have your choice. There's two new news here. Let's clarify. Where am I going? I feel like I have to do Romance Angel again. All right. Tell us about the King of Swords first. King of Swords. Tell us about the King of Swords. Holy Spirit, Holy Angels. Thank you, St. Michael, for protecting us all from the orcs. Too many, but I'm going to take Deception. And I'm going to take Give Your Relationship a Chance. There's too many over here. That fell on top of Orc. As it pertains to a King of Swords, could be an air sign, a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius. Don't get stuck on those. Those are just for extra information. I picked up that Ten of Pentacles in reverse somehow. Okay. All right. I didn't ask a question, so we won't take it. Tell us about the King of Wands. Who is the King of Wands? Is he better than the King of Swords? And when I say better, I just mean a better human. Okay, than your ex-orc, Scorpio. I get you deserve love and engagement. Now, it did, these two flew, I do have to honor this. They flew over here. Maybe your ex deserves love, But the engagement, your ex could be engaged, recently married, something of the newness of the engagement in the reverse. Maybe they figured out that, second best is never. Look, and if anybody ever makes you second, never do it. Never, never do it. You're never second. Okay, so they went to somebody who was second choice, and that's sad. Sad for the person they chose, but everybody's got to fulfill their karma. There could be a karmic situation involved. Now, we haven't been seeing too much of the spiritual warfare. I get codependency. Your ex is codependent. I don't want this to turn into an ex reading because we don't care. All right? We like new. We like new to treat us nicely. And I guarantee you, like I tell everybody, once you let go of the past, the people that come in are such higher caliber that it, even if you thought that your ex was, the tippy top of the tippy top, maybe somebody's a mountain climber, you find the next one was far better in every way. So there becomes this no need for comparison. Anything else about the King of Wands specifically? Finances and career are a factor in your love life right now. So you're probably overworking, probably doing what I do, just around the clock. It keeps you free. All right? Keeps you free. When you don't need a man for money or for anything, you just continue to make your choices the way you do. Codependent people hate that. Narcissists hate that. Your ex could be a narc. All right? All right. Wanted to turn over. So this one, stay optimistic about your love life. Okay, so let's move it right along. And what are we going to get for you? I feel like I want to do something else. Let's get some letters. Let's get some letters. All right, Spirit, tell us maybe some initials. The past first. Your ex could be significant with the letter H. Tell us about the past. Nope, too many. Or maybe we should just move it along. Tell us about the King of Swords. King of Swords, a letter associated with this person who seems to be new coming in. Or, like I can't deny, I do have to say that it could be your ex that has resurrected himself. But again, if they put you through something wicked, then there's no need, right? Define what you're worth. What are you worth? What are you worth, Scorpio? Know your worth. I know most of you have done this shadow work. Okay, O could be significant pertaining to the King of Swords. Tell us about the King of Wands. Too many? All right. King of Wands, an initial, a hint. Whoa. Okay, the King of Wands, fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, could be associated with the letter A. One more initial just as a wild card. Too many. One more initial as a wild card. Thank you, Holy Spirit. You, stay optimistic, okay? Okay. All right. Your ex could be associated with the letter P. And I don't know who this... We're going to put G over there because I didn't ask a question. I think we'll leave it at that. What are we going to get? Let's get some zodiac signs. All right. Your ex could be a person of air. So an air sign or associated with an air sign. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. One more for the ex. Your ex could be a Virgo associated with a Virgo. Okay, tell us about the King of Swords. Oh, they want to fly toward me. Who's coming? Incoming. The King of Swords could be a Capricorn. Stay loose about the associations. Hawaii is associated with your ex. That's not supposed to be in here. Okay. Tell us about the King of Wands. Tell us about the King of Wands. The fiery, feisty, sexy guy. You never really want a Knight of Wands, let me just say that. I am not really into fire signs, but it depends on the chart. You can't just say that across the board, so I really wouldn't. King of Wands doesn't want to talk. King of Wands is hiding. King of Wands. Maybe he doesn't want us to know. Maybe Spirit doesn't want us to make. Maybe Spirit is verifying that somebody coming in is a King of Wands, a fire sign in the upright without any other nudging. Hawaii. Okay. For the X. King of Wands won't speak, so it's probably a fire sign. It won't speak, so it's probably a fire sign. So let's get you some charms for fun. Make good choices, Scorpio. What do I focus on? I don't want to focus on your ex. He feels like a dick. I'm going to focus on you, Scorpio, so that I don't look at the charms. One fell out, you know, that shouldn't have done that. You have a rose. You are the rose, sweetheart. All right. Okay. So we have an anchor. Anchor yourself in your truth. Huh. Have a pipe wrench. We're going to, you know, if you need to, just call law enforcement, but not creepy, corrupt. Now this says follow your heart. An owl could be a significant totem for you. We have a tennis racket, so maybe you know, get rid of them. We have a key, so perhaps you're getting the key to a new location, or that's what you wish for. Now, this is kind of funny because this charm belongs to a bracelet I had with my stepson. And what it says is, can you see that? It says Jimmy. Your ex could be named James, or your current person will be named James, or the person coming in. We have yet another key and the Holy Cross. All right, folks, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like. And if you do, and if this resonates, all right, take good care. I love you all. Bye-bye.
Ma fait des fous, elle est toi.